Few things in life is better for your happiness than old school milk tart. Let's start with a pastry. This is a sweet shortcrust pastry, and it starts in your stand mixer, if you have one. If not, no need to cry. A bowl and good old hands, if you're lucky enough to have them, will also work. Into a bowl or mixer goes 250 grams or 2 cups of plain flour and 32 grams or 4 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Put it through a sieve to make sure we don't have any unwanted bits inside. We use powdered sugar, not granulated, because it melts away completely and leaves you a professional, light and short crumb. To that we add often and unfortunately forgotten 3 grams or half a teaspoon of salt. Next is the fat, which is butter, but to make it vegan, you could use chicken fat instead. Dice 125 grams or just over half a cup of cold butter into small-ish cubes. As with almost all pastry, things need to stay cold to prevent problems, as those are easier avoided than dealing with them later on. Add the butter and slowly work it into the flour until a rough, sandy texture is achieved. A few bits of butter here and there are fine and will actually give the best results. Along with the butter, we add a heavily beaten egg, which you pass through a sieve to get rid of any snotty bits. In it goes, and as soon as it just comes together, but before fully solid and kinda crumbly, tip it onto your bench and bring it together with your hands. Firmly but gently, not to overwork it. Press it into a flat disc so it chills evenly. Then wrap it in Greta wrap and into the fridge it goes to snoozy for at least an hour, but it can be made the night before or frozen in case you lose interest halfway through. While that's chilling and doing its thing, we make the heart of the tart. An important step is infusing the milk, instead of just whacking it all together. You can of course do that, but your melktert will suck, and not in a good way unfortunately. Into a pot goes 750 grams or 3 cups of whole milk, a whole cinnamon stick. In goes 67 grams or 1/3 of a cup of white sugar, vanilla essence or fresh vanilla pods if you have picked up a chance card with a good sum of inheritance, and the secret weapon, a few strips of narki massacant. That's our little South African tangerine, or mandarin if you want to call it. Orange peel will do if you can't find it. Finally grate in about 1/3 of a fresh nutmeg. Gently warm it until it's just starting to simmer, so the flavors get introduced to one another. Then off the heat, cover it and let it go on a short little honeymoon for an hour, or even better, overnight. Preheat your oven to 170 degrees Celsius or 340 degrees Fahrenheit. Once your pastry is rested, flour your work surface, the one from before will do, and roll it nice and thin with a rolling pin. Do not roll it out while it's fridge cold though. Doing that will break the pastry and cause tears of sorrow instead of tears of joy. Let it come up to temp a little bit, then quickly roll it out. It is a very tender, gentle pastry, and if it does break a bit during the process, do not worry. We'll simply pinch it back together later. The main idea is to get it nice and thin. A thick pastry will not deliver a nice milk tart, because the custard to pastry ratio will be off. We use a 23 cm diameter by 3 cm deep ceramic pie dish, but non-stick will work as well. If you want a deeper tart, you could also scale up the recipe and go as big as you like. One thing I like doing is to butter the dish, then chill it before lining it with a rolled out pastry. One little trick to avoid discomfort is to roll out your dough around the rolling pin like so. Then simply unroll it over the baking dish. You ease it into the corners without stretching it. Press it into the little flutes, as well as any parts that seem a touch too thick. You want the dough to stick out a little bit above the rim to compensate for any shrinkage. Spend your time on trimming and making sure the sides and rim is looking good. Do not rush this. Once that's done, we chill down the unbaked shell again for a few minutes. Once chilled, we blind bake it and I like to just prick it with a fork to ensure an even bake, especially when done in a ceramic dish. Add a piece of parchment filled with a thin layer of rice or beans. Then bake for 12 minutes until the pastry sets and turns golden brown. Remove the parchment and rice and bake for 6 more minutes before removing the tart case from the oven. Then set it aside to relax for now. To make the custard, into a bowl goes 25 grams of plain flour, go 45 grams of cornstarch, also known as maizena or corn flour in the UK and SA, 3 whole eggs and 1 yolk. Some old outdated recipes do call for whipped egg whites, which is structurally wrong. So before you break your keyboard, just know that this method will make a better milk tart. Whisk it all together until you have a paste. Bring the milk infusion back to just below a simmer and pour it straight onto the paste, while whisking it aggressively the whole time. This is to temper the eggs as well as the starch. If you skip this and just make a creme pat, the water will leach out after the bake, and divorce will follow that, sadly without any compensation. Keep adding and whisking until all the milk is added. Now we cook the custard out. Dip the whole lot back into the pan over medium-low heat. Whisk continuously until it comes to a full boil. Then boil for about 10 seconds while vigorously whisking. Don't cut this short and don't get distracted. This is what fully cooks the starch, so your tart sets properly without any leakage. After heat, drop in 30 grams or 2 tablespoons of butter and blitz it with a stick blender until it's glossy and silky smooth. Then, because we are thorough, not fancy, push it through a sieve, then into your baked shell. This ensures a flawlessly smooth, glassy custard. Smooth the top a touch, although it's not majorly necessary. Bake the milk tart in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for roughly 25 minutes, or until the surface sets into a skin and takes on that classic browned souffled surface. Color is flavor, but rotate the tart to make sure it cooks evenly. Once it's cooked, let it cool on a wire rack in the same tart dish. It'll have a slight, gentle wobble, and you'll watch the puffed center slowly drop and wrinkle into that proper baked milk tart surface. Naturally imperfect, but appetizing. A little bit like a good person. Once it's room temperature, you can carefully turn it out, or leave it in the dish for safety. Now, and only now, you generously yet lightly dust it with a bit of ground cinnamon. This is to make sure the flavor stays bright and pure. Carefully, but with intention, cut a generous slice to reveal a clean, creamy, perfectly smooth slice that holds its shape but melts the second it hits your tongue. A whole universe of comfort and flavor in one humble little tart. But before you go and cut yourself a slice, go live a happy life.